Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Jade Cocoon. I'm your host CPC Gamer, and in our last episode, there was way too much talking. And that's saying something, given how literally half my job here is non-stop talking. Well, maybe not half my job. I mean, I've got to make notes, process the audio and video, sync the two, get them rendered, uploaded, tagged. But sitting here talking incessantly is a pretty core part of what I do. How about we go with that? Anyhow, in our last episode, we also got the key to the Beetle Forest, which will serve as our first dungeon, so yeah, let's go. And you know, if I remember it rightly, there is a poacher in this game as a recurring boss character. He does not pretend to be a Cocoon Master. He just shows up and says, "Hello, I am a poacher." To that end, why would poachers even exist in this world? Like, we are fighting actual demons, and there is no downside to killing them. It's like, I don't know, cane toads in Australia. Or the Dutch. Tell me what happened, but please, don't take half an hour to do it. I really like that effect. A long, slow fade to indicate the passage of a long period of time. It's like that bit in Platoon where he gets shot. Okay, bit of a plot hole. If this guy can recognize my dad's signature tune, and my dad was the best of the best, how is it that I don't know what I'm doing? Oh, and it's Chorus! I was sent here to find you. What are the odds? 1 dungeon down and 3 to go, or maybe not because you're just the tutorial guy. Where were you 20 minutes ago when I needed you? Ah, well. Now, this game is pretty heavily tutorialized, so I'm going to cut the video right here, and we'll come back when I'm done. Alright, we're back. This game has about, 15 minutes of tutorials, and it's all stuff that I'm going to talk about in greater deal anyway, and with better voice acting, I hope. So, I skipped over showing you that. It's interesting, because Chorus is really buggy, and I don't think he was pretty thoroughly tested. Oh, but we'll get back to that in a little while, because speaking of skipping content, it's time for a battle. Jade Cocoon's big thing is the ability to catch the monsters that you find, and have them fight for you, much like in Pokemon. And, much like in Pokemon, you have to weaken the enemy before you can capture them. The little window at the top, that gives you information about the monster we're fighting. Like it's called Pataimel, and it's a fire type. And also the fact that it's using a fire spell is a bit of a giveaway. But I'm just saying, you guys. Now, this game only has 4 elements: Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water. And if you look at the element wheel next to the minion's name, you can get a quick reminder of the type advantages. Each element is strong against the element clockwise, and weak to the one anti-clockwise. Right, since this guy's health is now in the red, we can go for the capture. I mean, you can go for a capture at any point, really, but it's only worth doing when the monster's health is in the red. And hopefully, this is going to work. I can't see why it wouldn't work, but, you know, I wouldn't put it past the game to fail now that I'm here and trying to showing off to an audience. Nice. The enemy can break out of that cocoon at any point during the sequence, and it's only when the model completely vanishes that you get the catch. And it recreates the feel of watching a Pokeball rock and fall still pretty well. Now, it's my intention to show off a fight with new monsters as I find them, but I'm also going to be cutting out the repeat battles. And I'll be doing all my grinding off camera. I mean, it's a JRPG, but I'm going to try and streamline this thing as much as I possibly can. Case in point! Man, I hope I edited that properly. On the topic of combat, Jade Cocoon has a hybrid of random and procedurally generated battles. Like, every time you enter a forest, the game loads one of 2 different enemy batches and placements, so it does a pretty good job of mixing up what monsters you see and where they are. And it also means that you will never be hit by a random encounter, and you can avoid pretty much every monster that you don't want to fight. Okay, this right here, this is a save point. And it's a pretty good looking save point as far as they go. And this is not active right now, so we'll deal with that in a bit. Now, just give me a second to heal up, because there's usually a couple of fights coming up, and I want to be on top form. Okay, let's push on. Now, if we head left here, I'm pretty sure there's a boss trigger. And I'm in no shape to deal with it right now. So, how about we head to the right and tinker around with the background art to find ourselves a hidden ruin. I love the background art in this game. I mean, the designers made the best choice when they were putting this game together, because polygons wandering around pre-rendered. Are you purple? What are you? Huh. Patash is a name that I recognize, but I don't remember him being down here. I'm pretty sure there's meant to be a blue monster down here that heals itself. Maybe it's in the other monster set. I don't know. But it lets me tell you this. The monsters in Jade Cocoon show off their element type by colour. Fire is red, water is blue, and so on. You can get monsters that have multiple types, however, and they mix their colours accordingly. So fire water monsters are purple, fire air is orange. I thought I was about to fight a hybrid out in the wild, because this guy looked like he was kind of shaded purple. And this animation plays out the same every time you go to capture a monster, by the way. As you level up, your capture rank, I mean, the animation does change slightly, but it's always pretty long. Oh, and the mix-up! This guy does not want to be caught. Well, tough cookies, Patash. I'll catch you yet. I mean, sometimes the catch procedure fails just because, but you'll very often get it on the second try. So, let's enjoy this, how about? And, you know, look at Levant's character model. You can just kind of tell that he was designed by someone whose predominant work was anime in the 80s. But there's just something about him, and I can't place it. So what do you say, guy? You want to let me catch you this time? Oh, no he doesn't. He's fighting it. Aww. Well, that's it. You're dead. I think there might be a stat that helps decide whether a minion can or cannot escape. Like, I want to say speed, because that makes the most sense to me. But I could be wrong. Also, the death cry of a minion is clearly an elephant sound with a bit of reverb on it. It's an odd pick, because the usual choice for a monster or demon sound is pig noises. Like, you can get some nightmare sounds if you engineer pig noises properly. Well, thank you, game. You can unlock these chests by finding skeleton keys around the various forests, but I think there are more chests than there are keys, so you have to pick which ones you want to go for. Me? I go for whichever ones I find first, because I am a master strategist. Like, now, for example, I'm going to return home and show off something new. I have all the materials I need to get to the real meat of the game, so let's do it. I mean, I do kinda want one of those hopping firebugs, but given how well that one fight went, I don't think I'm high enough level to catch one. And if I did catch one, it wouldn't be a very good one. And I'm surprised. Usually when you pass through a full loading screen, where it goes black with a little firefly, the monsters you fought respawn. So I thought I'd run into a wasp thing out here. Actually, the monsters respawn because the game isn't balanced particularly well. But if you look at Chrono Trigger, for example, that had set enemy encounters, and you knew that if you fought every single one, you have enough EXP to be the right level for the boss. This game doesn't do that, so you do have to grind a little bit. Oh, and how about that? the backing music in the Barrier Gate is the same melody as the Beetle Forest. I never noticed that before. Well done, game. Now, as before, you can go to any building in town, but there's no point to most of it, so we're going to Garai's house. Mahbu functions as basically the Poké Center in this game. If nothing else, she heals you and your minions to full health. Although with that said, I really don't want to call them minions, because it just reminds me of the minions, and that is not a good thing. I mean, the minions are basically just serve bots, but without any of the charm and personality. But with greater mass market appeal, apparently. I love that dialogue. I love most of the Nagi dialogue in this game too. I mean, I have a soft spot in my black heart for fictional rituals that are written and performed as if they were real. Love it. So, Mahbu can do all kinds of things with the fireflies we just caught. With this one, we can turn our captured minions to silk that we can sell. The higher the monster's level, the more money we get for their silk. This is the primary source of income for the game because the enemies don't drop money. Can be pretty useful. Now, if you like, we can go to this one, look at the monsters that we've caught, check out their skills, and we can also equip them. We have 3 slots to fill, 12 slots in reserve. Ignore all of these, I'll explain them in a bit. And lastly, we can merge 2 minions together. And this is the first game that really introduced me to the concept of texture swapping, because it always uses the model from the first minion you use, no matter what it is, and the skin of the second monster. And it also works out stats and skills based on something that I don't know, because texture swapping! So based on what we've captured, we can have, I think it's a wasp with a dragon texture. Let's have a look at that. Aww! Now that is actually adorable. Or, if you preferred, we could make a dragon with a wasp texture. That one is less cute. Now, this screen right here is where the vast majority of game time is going to be spent, and where I'm going to do most of my editing. Because I am a monster when it comes to breeding like this, but at the same time, I become really attached to the characters I make, and I don't want to get rid of any. Especially since I plan on giving all my guys names, so I really don't know what to do. Incidentally, yes, I am naming my minions in this playthrough. I'm gonna go for my subscribers and friends, so if you want in on that, let me know. I already have my starter team in mind, but I can change based on rules I arbitrarily make up later on. And you know, the fusion dance looks a lot like the purification process. Different Nagi verse though. I like that. Anyway, I'm going to get my starter team ready to go, and we'll be right back after this edit. And we're back after that edit. I'm pretty happy with the results, so let's go and show them off. Maybe, like, find the creature from the blue cocoon, or whatever it is we're meant to be doing in the Beetle Forest. Now, something I like, you can warp directly into the unlocked forests, rather than having to go to the gate and then through the door. Like I say, it takes a short while for the game to begin, but it does its best to slim down and streamline itself once you begin. Now it looks like there's no monster here, but I think this is the set that has a monster walk through this arch. No? Well, I guess then I'm gonna take the fight to you. Here comes Daredevil. Is he running away from me? Already? Sucks to be you, I guess. Well, the first member of our team is a water type by the name of Leonard Frost, owner and author at southrights.blogspot.com. I kinda cheated for this one, but we'll get to that in a bit. You can only summon one minion at a time, and each minion has the same basic command set. Non-elemental attacks. You can go over here and defend if you are mad. Most minions can cast magic spells. It's like Persona when you have to learn another language for the magic, but you see you can hit circle for an explanation of what each spell does. And spells are similar, but different to special attacks. Each minion can have a skill assigned to each of these various body parts, if they have them. So here, Lynod can do a water channel through his horn. You can also assign modifiers to these attacks, through breeding or using certain items. Again, we'll get to that when we get to it, because... yeah! Routed in a single turn. This is the power of elemental matchups. Okay, so, cheating. Yes, if you ask Chorus to teach you about capturing monsters, he gives you one called Arbitron, which is that little dragon thing that you can only get from Chorus at the very start of the game. And usually, you can only do this once, but Chorus is bugged in such a way that you can catch an infinite supply. And if you're patient, you can have a fully leveled adult monster at your side before you even begin the game. And since this game doesn't do anything to stop power leveling, there's nothing to stop you getting your infinite supply and just bulldozing the first half of the game and beyond. And Arbitron, I think he's one of the strongest monsters in the game too. But he's very susceptible to status ailments. I mean, I don't know if you can breathe that out, or if it's inherent, or... I will be honest, I suck at the metagame in Jade Cocoon. I mean, there's no EV training or what have you, I'm just mashing together what looks cool. Alright, let's bring out Lynod again. See if we can actually catch one of these guys. Other fun things you can do with Chorus at the start of the game. You can use him to completely fill your inventory with healing items. And you can get his model to vanish, but his event trigger to remain, so you're stood there talking to and interacting with an invisible man. Alright, now that did 12 damage. So if I do one more, I should be able to tag in Levant and make the cap. Sure. Or not? Oh, yeah! Yeah, unlike Pokemon, this game doesn't have set damage for each attack. Sometimes your attack is a certain percentage stronger or weaker. Gotta relearn that. And fast, if I want to make any headway in this game. Okay, I've explored as much of the ruins as I can before I wander into a boss fight, so let's head back to the intersection and take the main path. It's kinda nice because, by and large, the dungeons in this game are pretty linear, and if they split off, then one path becomes an obvious dead end, or it houses the key for the other path. Now there is one dungeon that's a maze, and that's a pretty fun one to explore. It's my favourite one in the whole game too. But, no, we'll discuss that at the time, because now, we're gonna show off our second team member. Because this is an air type, which is weak against fire. Which I don't understand, because by and large fire kind of requires oxygen. But there is no time to think about that, because it's Crowley9 of the YouTube channel Crowley9. Now Crowley can do magic, but I don't think that's going to end up being his special ability. I mean, pretty much all the monsters in the first few screens have equal stats and stat growth, so you can steer them in whatever direction you like. And since Lynod is a magic user, Crowley's going to be physical. And incidentally, I don't think that there is any particular skill advantage to each elemental type. I mean, there is in the sequel. In Jade Cocoon 2, fire types have strong physical attack, earth types have the highest defense, water types heal themselves, and the wind monsters are unholy demons. And every status ailment under the sun comes from the wind demons. This game, less specialized and more well-rounded. Now, Shablicker is how we heal our minions in the field. They do regain some health and mana after each fight, whether or not they joined in. And I'm going to catch this guy, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright. Oh, and I leveled up. Neat. The higher your capture level, the easier it is to capture enemies with higher health. And now there is a rumour... Oh, by the way, this exit to the right is where we come out if we leave the ruins by the west exit. There's a rumor that says you can eventually just capture monsters at the start of a fight without doing anything. I've never seen that myself. As you can probably tell, I caught that guy too. I have a strong fire and water base for my team. I'm going to put together a pretty strong wind fighter as well. Split path, eh? Well, I'm going to take the left path and indulge my love of exploring abandoned ruins. Way cooler than forests. Alright, come at me, Skyib. How cool is that battle entrance noise? It's simple and to the point, and it fits really well with the East Indian aesthetics. Love it! Alright, what's in here? Aha! This is the guy I was trying to catch in the other ruins. And he'll serve as a very good explanation for why I'm cutting out the majority of the combat. Alright. However that's pronounced. Mukhambu? Whatever. He's kinda weak on his own, but he knows how to do healing magic. And he's the only monster in this game who can do that until about 2/3 of the way through. Every time I played this game, I made a point of capturing one of these guys and using him for magic. And I'm going to attack him just to see how that goes. And badly is the answer. Okay. Well, at least there's 2 more for me to pick from. And it gives me the chance to show off the leveling system. You only get experience from catching things. Your monsters only get experience when they kill things. Right. Now we're going to try this again. I think I'm going to tag in Lynod. If you attack an element with itself, it means your attack doesn't do so well. Fairly standard mechanics for this kind of game. Plus, Lynod's physical attack is a little bit lower than it could be right now, so hopefully there's enough of a cushion to leave this guy alive. Although, maybe not, because that was 13 damage. Wow. See, this guy is a tricky one to catch, because you have to wait for his AI to slip up in a very particular way. He needs to defend, so I can get in and attack at about 1/3 the power, and then he needs to not do that and use that magic, which he is programmed to do most of the time that he has critical health, because, hell, why wouldn't you? Still, he's not at full health, so at the very least I can just whittle him down piece by piece. Yes! Right, now this is step 1. He's defending. Like, you can see him curling up and hiding. Hopefully he'll keep on doing it and not healing. Please? Yes! This guy's mine. You know, if I remember it rightly, the enemy AI does not fight fairly. They have infinite mana, while you do not. So this guy can heal himself without impunity. And I can't imagine this guy breaking free, because his stats are lower than the fire type we encountered earlier, which is what you'd expect from a magic user in an RPG. Plus my capture level is higher. 2 separate buffs. Nice! I got me a healer. And subpar language skills. Heck yeah! Only been speaking English for about 3 decades now. Why would I be any good at it? Yeah, it's like walking. You know, sometimes you just heading down the street, your feet go nope, and down you go. Or is that just me? I don't know. Whatever, here comes round 3. I caught that one. It's going to be pretty easy to tell the outcome of these in the early game, because you can just see the gauges ticking over at the end. That will probably change as the game goes on. But we'll deal with it when I come to it. Do I see what I think I see? Maybe? I do not. But these snake guys are some of my favorite monsters in the game. And there's one called Squoot, and that is my favorite monster, because I like its name and I like its design. Now, by and large, you only fight one monster at a time, but sometimes you get 2. mean, to begin with, they are always the same element, but later on you'll see combinations designed to test you, or basically just screw with you. So, even though we're level 4, you can already see that Lynard's stats are growing in a certain way. Namely, his special attacks pack more powerful than his magic. I mean, by and large, special attacks always do more damage than magic. The trade-off being that special attacks can miss and magic cannot. And I'm just going to tag myself back in. Partially to get the catch, partially because Lynard's poisoned. Now, poison takes a percentage of your health with every turn, but it also drops your attack, defense, and speed. It is really nasty in this game. I don't think that it affects your ability to capture, mind you, but hey, I guess we'll find out. Now, there are 3 status elements in the game, and they are only an issue inside of battle. As soon as it ends, no matter how it ends, the elements go away. The only thing that's going to hold you back is fainting. If your minions faint, you can revive them with Marbu's magic. If you faint, then you lose a couple of levels and wake up outside the dungeon. Kind of a pointless thing, really, because you can get that EXP back just by capturing a couple of monsters. Ooh! You can use that in battle to cast poison on an enemy. Or, more accurately, you can sell it in the store because it's pretty useless. I am not useless, however. I am a novice. I am a wounded novice, so I am going to heal up before I continue. Okay. Now, I can kind of see it in the background, but I think I'm coming up on one of my favorite areas. Yeah! There it is! So, I was going to say something else before I was so rudely interrupted, but I'm kind of hurting and I need to return home to cash in my minions. Maybe mix up those wind minions and bolster my team. So I'm going to do that, and join us next time for more Jade Cocoon. And until next time, goodbye!